Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're gonna watch this movie I've never seen before. Phobia. Let's check it out. Alright, we have Paul Michael Glaser as Dr. Ross. He's helping patients with phobias by making them face their fears. Here's Barbara, one of his patients. I don't know if her fear is tight spaces or what, but she's on the subway and she's going to start to panic.
I won't panic. I'm controlling my fear. I'll find my way.
She eventually gets off the subway and goes back to the doctor's place, finds her filing cabinet, or on her, and decides to take a peek. Bad idea. John Colicos is the police inspector.
That experimentee died by accident, not intent.
He thinks the doctor was the target.
Morning, Inspector.
It was a bomb, no doubt at all. Those files were a booby trap.
Was not.
Definitely, yes.
This radical new therapy he has is interviewing 5 criminals.
But I can't get over, doctors. If it hadn't have been Barbara, it would have been you.
Who are facing their fears, their phobias, inspectors watching. So he interviews the group.
The warden told us they were looking for guys with phobias. I got this phobia about heights and falling.
You don't say.
Oh.
This particular inmate has a fear of snakes. So all these inmates volunteered for this new therapy. Well, the first guy being questioned decides he's going to make a break for it. I think they're in the courthouse building or something, and well, they are criminals.
Assaulted a policeman and took his gun, held a young girl hostage, and stole 2 cars at gunpoint. Now he's up there and says he'll jump if I or any of my men comes near him. All he wants is to talk to you.
Well, apparently whatever Dr. Ross said to him didn't have much of an impact, because he's now falling to his death, which was his biggest fear, heights. This is his girl, Jenny.
Peter, why don't we go away for a while? Take a little vacation. Little holiday.
Yes.
Why can't you?
If I go away, there won't be any problem when I get back. Well, Jenny, you don't understand what keeps the damn thing going. Like Clemens, all of them.
Well, with 2 of his patients involved in this therapy dying, the press is now interested too. He's not. So Lisa Langlois plays Laura. She's got some sort of fear of, I don't know, being touched or whatever, or being assaulted. I don't know. So shows a video of this woman being pawed by a bunch of guys. Well, Laura starts to freak out. She leaves the room and takes solace in the bathtub.
Sit back.
And she's left alone, and somebody comes in and does this to her.
He won't admit it.
What would he lie about?
He knows where Johnny Venuti is, but he won't tell me.
What about Jenny?
He's gone. Either he or this one here murdered Laura, and I'm gonna nail one or the other if I have to tear them both to bits.
While that other patient, Johnny, took off, he was hiding on top of this elevator, in this elevator shaft. Apparently somebody knows he's there and is going to squish him. He thinks the doc might be guilty.
You know damn well it is.
Why are you keeping the hospital?
Where else should we keep it? You only hasn't been telling me someone's trying to kill me. Where's my sidearm in the service?
I'll get right to the point, Peter. Your program is finished. There will be no further experiments with implosion therapy in this hospital. I'm sorry.
Susan stops by
I was looking for Peter in the row office.
No.
and sees another doctor looking through Peter's stuff. A red herring?
I thought I might find some hints, some clue as to what's been happening that Peter may have overlooked in his records. 4 out of 5 patients in this project are dead. Now the deaths must link up somehow.
It's fine.
I thought you might be depressed or feeling.
Nonsense. What's happened is for the best. I'm ready to move on.
Oh my God.
But the last patient is dead.
What happened to him? Is that a rattlesnake?
I had to punish them. I gave them a chance. I built this room for them. I gave them the rooms. I gave them the screens. I gave them the images. They wouldn't get better. So they had to join.
I won't listen to you.
You will listen.
Apparently his sister died years earlier, and he's got issues.
I couldn't get to her in time. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life in a chemical straitjacket.
All right, let's talk about Phobia. This movie I'd never seen before. Now, this is an old cable movie of mine. I've seen this in the cable guides that I had when I was a kid. I just never watched it, never knew anything about it, to be honest with you. Saw it recently on a Kino Lorber sale, picked it up. I think this is a relatively new release, like in the last year, maybe 2 years, I'm not sure. But anyway, Phobia is directed by John Huston, famous director, famous actor also. And if you look up stuff about John Huston, they always talk about this as being the one bad film he made. Although I don't know if that's completely fair. It's a little slow at times, but I don't think it was a bad film really. We have Paul Michael Blazer, who plays Dr. Ross, Peter Ross. You might remember him as Starsky on Starsky and Hutch in the 70s. He's a doctor and he's doing some sort of new therapy. It's experimental. It's called implosion therapy. And to do this, he's found 5 inmates at a prison to help him. Basically, he needs 5 inmates who have really serious phobias of whatever kind. Fear of heights, fear of snakes, whatever. So he gets these 5 people together and he develops some sort of system where he makes them face their fears by showing them videos of people falling or whatever, brings in a live snake to help them overcome them. I don't know what exactly his plan is, but I think he's being somewhat successful. Well, next thing you know, one after another, he's got 5 people in this program. They start dying. The first woman dies after being exploded with a bomb. The second one dies from falling. The third one dies drowned in a bathtub. And then ultimately, the 4th and 5th one died too. Now, after the 4th one dies, they basically tell him, you have to stop now. The program's over with. There's bad press, that sort of thing. So we don't know what the connection is, but the program's got to stop. So his girlfriend comes to basically console him at the office there. And then she finds out that the 5th patient has been killed with a snake bite, a rattlesnake. Turns out Dr. Ross is behind it all. Now, his reasoning behind it was never quite clear. I guess he had a sister who drowned when they were kids and he wasn't able to save her. Not sure what that means in terms of phobias, but whatever. He's got some issues regarding this. And he says, I got this room for these people. I did this, I did that. I showed them all these videos. I did this. They just never got better. He feels like that was their fault. I don't know, I guess. But then he says, he's telling Janet, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life in a straitjacket, a chemical straitjacket, he called it. And he shoots himself in the eye and dies. And that's how the movie ends, very abruptly like that. So anyway, that is Phobia. I don't know. Again, I didn't think it was a terrible film. Like the movie I reviewed the other day, Night Kill, both came out in 1980. Both were kind of forgotten little thrillers. But I didn't think it was bad. It wasn't the greatest movie in the world. It's only 90 minutes long. If I think that's the right time for this. If it was about an hour and 55, I probably would have been bored by it. But 90 minutes, it moved along pretty well. Lisa Langlois has a nude scene in this movie, full frontal if you're into that. But yeah, that's it. By the way, that nude scene she did, read on IMDb the trivia about this movie. Apparently she was highly pressured to do that scene and wasn't very happy with it. She did do a full frontal nude scene a couple years later in The Man Who Wasn't There. But anyway, that is this movie. Like I said, put out by Kino Lorber. Nice Blu-ray. The film looks fantastic. It's got a few extras on here. Audio commentary by film historian, but also an interview with Susan Logan and an interview with Lisa Langlois. I didn't watch the interview, but I bet that's where she talks about the nude scene. But anyway, check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll leave a link to this, assuming it's on Amazon, for you to buy it. Watch it. Bye.